Bro, even YouTubers who break phones for a living, living out there. Oh yeah, this guy, I think used to be kind of like a right wing, center right normie, and Trump bricked him, dude. I've been seeing him post more and more about his like anger and resentment towards this administration, and it has only expanded in the last like. I think he was like kind of a libertarian guy, and he is pissed off at Trump. Even the Palestine stuff also bricked him. He runs a wheelchair company for his wife. The ADA stuff was a big deal. Yeah. This is why I always have confidence that people can change. This is important. You have to understand. Sometimes we say, oh, Republicans only realize that something is fucked up when it impacts them directly, but it doesn't matter. This is what I am firmly committed to. This is what I believe. The theory of change revolves around this. The theory of change that I embody, the theory of change that I push for, revolves around this. One day, no matter how much of a naysayer someone could be, one day there will be an issue. They will feel alone on a particular matter. They will feel like no one else cares about this thing that they care about because it impacts them directly. And we will be there because we've always been there. We've always been fighting for these things. And that's when those people's eyes will open up to the reality that maybe the negative polarization and the false framing and the false associations that they have with the left was built around the social learning that they went through, the environment that they grew up in, and that maybe they were wrong. There are many of you in this community who have also gone through that transformation as well. And I think it's really inappropriate to try to shut that off for others. But yes, I will always celebrate people that go through this transformation because it's a wonderful thing. And Jerry Riggs, everything I have personally seen throughout this past year, especially, go through that transformation these past 2 years. Some people can't put themselves in other people's shoes, and I think it's just a human thing. But once people feel it, they understand it and grow. Yes, you're right. People can change, but I have a bit of a justice narrative. So I see these dickhead hogs seeing their own stupidity. Yet I've been a lefty since university. I have a real hard time forgiving hateful rhetoric and victim blaming and ignorance. It doesn't matter. That's your own personal hang up, and you have to remove that kind of attitude. They didn't change. The discourse did. No. 501 sucks ass, though. They don't know how to manage protests at all, and they're total bootlickers. No Kings is cucked. Stop. Don't do that. I have said over and over again, the last time the No Kings protest took place, amidst anti-ICE protests that were being put together by PSL, for example, that ended up having much larger police presence and police enforcement than the 501 No Kings protests. What did I tell you back then? This is not a bad thing. So many of these people recognize exactly what's going on and they're frustrated by it for 1, 2, 3, or a million different reasons. But what matters is they know what the f is up. They recognize what's going on and they're frustrated by it and they want to protest against it. I'm not going to ever poo-poo a person for taking it to the goddamn streets at a time when our voices have to be heard, especially because people had these exact same opinions and these exact same criticisms about Bernie Sanders and AOC's no oligarchy rallies as well. People had these exact same kinds of opinions and criticisms about the No Kings protests, but ultimately it is up to us to be there, especially considering that when you go and attend things like this, when you go and attend these sorts of protests, 2 things happen. Number 1, you feel emboldened. You get to see solidarity in action. And it's a beautiful feeling. It is the anti-black pill. It is the maximum touching grass that you can do. That's number 1. And number 2, you recognize that regardless of the intention of the protest organizers themselves, regardless of even Bernie Sanders and AOC's perspectives on certain issues, the people that are attending those protests actually are on your side. And sometimes, or in many instances, especially given the way that liberals are operating right now and the way that they're communicating their discontent right now, they are far more radical than the way that the No Kings protest organizing committee has presented themselves as. It's one thing to dive into history books and fantasize about a time when you could have 300,000 socialists, card-carrying party members, trade unionists, communists come together and flood the streets. But unfortunately, you have to look at the situation that is in front of you. Fantasizing about activism of that sort is not going to make it happen. You have to make it happen. All this kind of like, oh, the Bernie rallies don't do shit. all that does is just make you feel better about yourself. It's the leftist version of what we saw early on when some chirpers, some liberals were like, we're going to sit ourselves out of this one. We're tired. You know, we voted for Kamala. We did our job and the left didn't. So we're not going to participate in these ICE protests. When people were saying that, that was actually, they were saying that because they wanted to feel moral about their inaction. What you're doing right now is the left version of that. When you sit there and you go, all these Barbaras and Deborahs, they're out there, but like, this is not going to do anything, right? When you say stuff like that, you're not saying that because there is like reasonable critique against the No Kings protest organizers or anything like that, which I understand. I myself have actually been pretty vocal about things that I think are totally inappropriate as far as like organizing goes, as far as like experiencing it, expressing any sort of discontent goes, like RSVP lists and things of that nature are not best practices at all. Having said that, you'll never catch me saying this is bullshit, this is useless, this is silly, this is stupid. It matters. It matters when you got millions of people on the streets, man. Are you kidding me? Like, look at this.
Every day, in particular, the nonprofit and independent media on the streets every day.
Like, look at this shit.
Including Block Club Chicago, Unraveled Press, and the Tribe, to say in particular
the people are activated. The people are united. They're activated. They're angry. It is important for the existing party apparatus to utilize that anger and to redirect it into something more productive. And if the party won't do it, and it doesn't seem like it will, we will do it. Instead of sitting around and complaining and being like, oh, it's just the liberals, go out there, participate, organize. This kind of change doesn't happen overnight, doesn't happen magically. It takes many, many years. It takes a tremendous amount of effort. And you never know how far you can move the needle in the moment when you're participating in something like this. My dad organized a No Kings today in our small, deep red town of Central Florida, had over 2,000 attendees. That's awesome. I went to an East Coast No Kings rally today, and to me, it looked like a great demonstration of the Popular Front. You had wine moms, Palestine activists, homeless advocates, PSL, DSA, and even RevComs all pushing towards the same goals.